Hi, welcome back to the Hobby Homestead. My name's Amy and I am gardening here in Zone 5B in Southern Ontario. Today I'm going to be doing some flower seed saving, and as I putter around the garden and gather up some dried seed heads, dried flowers on the various plants around the garden, I thought I would bring you along with me and show you how I save some of the most common vegetable garden flower seeds. These are plants that are commonly found in people's vegetable gardens because they're easy to grow, they attract pollinators, and oftentimes they're edible and or medicinal. A couple of the plants that I'm saving seeds from today are calendula, zinnias, and sunflowers. So come along with me and see how I do it. This is Resina calendula. It's the best stuff for making salves and face products, creams of all kinds. My mom has been making us our face creams and salves for a couple of years now, and so we grow plenty of this calendula, and then we infuse the dried flowers in oil, and she can use that oil in all of the skin products. If you want to save seeds from calendula, I'm surrounded by plants right now. It's kind of hard to see what's what. This is an orange zinnia. This is a calendula down here. This is the bud form. And then this is the next stage, and then it's going to open into a flower. Here are a bunch of calendula seeds that are about to dry out. I can put a little mesh bag over one of these, pull it tight, and then as it dries, the seeds will fall into here instead of into the garden if I forget about it. Also, calendula is just really easy to save seed from, and you don't even need to do that because usually they'll start drying right on the plant and sort of stay in the plant. They don't necessarily explode everywhere like other things do. Here's one that I bagged a while back. We're just gonna pick it and go put it away. These are the super cool calendula seeds. They're pretty big and cool shaped. Oh, I need bigger snips to get this. There we go. We've got a little bit of a worm situation. I was gonna harvest this sunflower for seeds, but it's all rotten. There's a little worm in there. There's a roly-poly in it. You can tell it's decaying because there's a roly-poly. And there's some little worms in it. So I'm gonna give this to the chickens. Let's try for some more over here. Lemon queen sunflower. Whew, I needed to find a spot out of the sun to film this next part. I'm just going to show you what I do after I cut the sunflower head off. I'm going to wait till it's fairly yellowed or brown on the back. However, I didn't wait for that this time because we have some sort of maggot getting in and eating the seeds. And I can tell that the seeds are ready because they're black in under here. You just scrape the petals off and it reveals the sunflower seeds inside. This is much more fun to do on those giant sunflowers, which we have coming up in the garden soon. Oh, there's little worms in there too. You've started. All the little worms coming out.
Ugh.
Wriggling and writhing in there.
What did you jump down at me?
So I'm pretty sure what that little larva is in my sunflowers is the banded sunflower moth's larva. Kind of annoying, it's a bit of a pest, but I just did some reading real quick and it looks like something that is very successfully balanced by a lot of the predators that we already have in our garden. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and not worry about it. And I think that the other predator insects we have are gonna have a field day on our sunflowers. We've got lots of sunflower heads and I'm hopeful that I can save enough seeds that don't have any larvae in them that we still have plenty to sow for next year. Usually when you're saving flower seeds, in my experience at least, you don't really find a lot of creepy crawlies and insects and things that are in that flower after it's dried. This is a new one for me, little worms in the sunflowers. But fear not, we still have some good sunflower seeds going on here. You can leave the heads to dry further and then the seeds are easier to take out, but I'll just show you one of our seeds. There's the seed. There's probably, I don't know, 50 or 60 seeds in this one sunflower head. So if I save 2 or 3 of these, then we're totally set for next year. This is the sunflower that I just harvested for seed. I'm gonna let it dry out the rest of the way This is one that I harvested for seed a few weeks ago, and I just set it on the counter and now it's fully dried. So I'm going to use a bowl to capture the seeds. So we just break it all open here. Generally speaking, sunflower seeds should be black when they're fully dry. Some varieties are like a gray and white striped, but they have hard shells no matter what. If you're harvesting your sunflower seeds and you find that there's sort of a pale whitish green, then they're not ready. If the seeds themselves are very soft, then they're not ready. And you want to let them mature on the plant, because once you pick it, if you pick it before the seeds are ready, they're not necessarily going to be fully developed. If I'm going to gift my seeds or donate them or sell them, I'm definitely going to do a germination test on them. So that's something I can do in the winter months. Just start a little tray and I just put like 10 seeds in a tray, and I count the percentage that germinates from that. So if 8 out of 10 seeds germinate, I can say I have an 80% germination rate, and I would write that on a packet when I'm gifting or selling seeds. It's important to do that because there's a lot of hidden knowledge in seed saving, things that I only have learned in the last few years. I used to try to save seeds from my kale, so I would let my kale sometimes go to seed if it overwintered. So kale from one year stayed in the garden all winter and came back to life the next year, then it would send out a flower stalk because it's biennial, and these big seed pods form on it, and it's really easy to save the seed from. So I would save the seed from that kale plant, but I learned that those seeds will not germinate very likely because kale, along with a bunch of other brassicas, are not able to pollinate themselves. They are self-incompatible. So you have to have like at least 5 kale plants of the same variety all around each other, flowering at the same time, to get viable seed off those kale plants. So there's a lot of things like that that's just not common knowledge to the typical gardener, your average backyard gardener. And so you may see things like seed pods forming and think that they're going to be great seeds to use or to gift or to sell. But if you don't do a germination test, or if you haven't done copious amounts of research before doing that, you may not know that those seeds might not be viable. So always do a germination test if you want to do something with those seeds besides just saving them for yourself for the future and being willing to experiment. Okay, a couple more real quick. We've got chamomile. Chamomile, my goodness, I picked this to show you saving the seeds, and the seeds are just falling everywhere as I move it around. Chamomile seeds are very tiny, and as soon as the petals have fallen off of this yellow flower, the seeds just pour out. They're very tiny, but easy to save. Sprinkle them into a bowl or your hand or a container. As long as the petals have fallen off and that yellow dome that was in the middle of the petals is starting to look a little dried, then you're ready to save them. If you leave them out in the garden for too long, those seeds just scatter everywhere. And then you end up with volunteer chamomile, which may not be a bad thing. The next plant on the list is marigold. This is a dried flower head. Take your seed head. You can just remove all the extra little petals. Oh no, seeds are coming out. And when you open it up, those are all the seeds, those little black things there. This is what a marigold seed looks like. There is a lovely array of marigold seeds. So each one of these you can plant in your garden. Last but not least are zinnias. This is a zinnia that's still in its fresh and beautiful phase, although it's starting to dry. This is the closest one that I have to being fully dried, and it's not quite ready because you can see there's still a little bit of coloration in the flower petals. But once these petals are just brown and crispy, then you know for sure when you tug on the outer petals that the seed inside will be a viable dried seed. These are not, I wouldn't save these right now because they're a little bit on the green side, but this is what it looks like when it's ready to save, just a little more brown and crispy. And as soon as you pull those little bottom petals out, there's a triangular shaped seed attached to the bottom. So you're looking for this, but just a little more brown and crispy. Whew, it's starting to get really hot out here, so I think I need to pack it in. Thanks for coming along with me while I saved some seeds. If you have questions about how to save seeds from anything in your garden, please leave them in the comments. I'm a pretty avid seed saver, even though I don't have all the answers, but I do have a couple really good reference books. So if you have questions and I don't know the answers, I can at least look it up for you and let you know what I find. If you're into this kind of content, gardening, saving seeds, growing food in harmony with nature, using the food that you grow, all that kind of stuff, please come along long-term with me. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification icon if you want to get notified of my videos. I put out at least one per week. And thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you'll come and grow with us.